Hello, my love. We are in truth eternal love and love each other, but well in the Father. And to awaken to this very fact that you and I are one in God, and that you loved me always and I loved you always, that we have eternal, most beautiful, holy relation. For that very purpose, practically we have to let go the whole world of separation which we made up out of this insane thought that we are separate from God and that we are humans imprisoned in bodies, mortal beings. All this is not true. And the world I'm seeing reflects my thinking. So we work with our thoughts to undo, practically to unlearn the world we learned. Our mind is very, very powerful. And all limited thoughts, practically the whole world is not real. It's not coming out of the source of love and light and joy, God, but is without a cause. Just nonsense, hallucinated, insane. Okay, so we have a beautiful lesson today to control and diminish, well, to undo the meaningless thoughts in our mind. It's a very helpful practice, and just do it. I suggest it 3 or 4 times a day, and just a minute, and it will help you very much. I read it to you. It's lesson number 4. These thoughts do not mean anything. A general statement. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on the street, from this window, in this place. Unlike the preceding ones, these exercises do not begin with the idea for the day. In this practice periods, begin with noting the thoughts that are crossing your mind for about a minute. Then apply the idea to them. If you are already aware of unhappy thoughts, use them as subjects for the idea. Do not, however, select only the thoughts you think as they are bad. You will find, if you train yourself to look at your thoughts, that they represent such a mixture that, in a sense, none of them can be called good or bad. This is why they do not mean anything. So my normal flow of thoughts through my mind, coming from the ego, don't mean anything. In selecting the subjects for the application of today's ideas, the usual unusual specificity is required. Do not be afraid to use good thoughts as well as bad ones. None of them represents your real thoughts, which are being covered by them. So we are taking away those meaningless thoughts so that the real thoughts can be felt and seen. The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond, and shadows make the sight difficult. The bad ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. You do not want either of them. This is a major exercise and will be repeated from time to time in somewhat different form. The aim here is to train you in the first step towards the goal of separating the meaningless from the meaningful. It is a first attempt in the long-range purpose of learning to see the meaningless as outside you and the meaningful within. So every negativity I projected outside, so that is outside. Nothing I see means anything. It's outside. And the heaven The reality, the eternal, unchangeable, is in my mind. The door to heaven opens inside. And my mind, in truth, holds only the thoughts I share with God, the real ones, and they make me happy. It is also the beginning of training your mind to recognize what is the same and what is different. That we might not understand now, but in truth we are all equal. In truth we share one identity. So the differences I'm seeing are not real, meaningless. In using your thoughts for application of the idea of today, identify each thought by the central figure or event it contains. For example, this thought about blank does not mean anything. This thought about blank does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in this room or on the street and so on. This thought about that blank event does not mean anything. You can also use the idea for a particular thought that you recognize as harmful. This practice is useful, but is not a substitute for the more random procedure to be followed for the exercises. Do not, however, examine your mind for more than 1 minute or so. You are too inexperienced as yet to avoid a tendency to become pointlessly preoccupied. Further, since these exercises are the first of their kind, you might find the suspension of judgment in connection with thoughts practically difficult. Yes, but we let it go. Do not repeat these exercises more than 3 or 4 times during the day. We will return to them later. Jesus is asking me how I feel when I read this text and the directions to be followed. Well, there are 2 feelings. I feel a resistance, somehow, to do this. But this is going away, but the resistance must come from the ego. And I say, all these thoughts are meaningless. These thoughts don't mean anything. And there's this other feeling of a liberation. He says, go deeper. There's this feeling there's someone who takes over. There's some power, I can say, or guidance, which is meant to help me, to liberate me. This thought does not mean anything. So there is that face coming up, that there's someone with a power to liberate me from all burdening thoughts. How was my exercise? I had the feeling that Holy Spirit and you, Jesus Christ, hold my hand and are cooperating me while I do those exercises. And the burdening thoughts about a brother who is in trouble heavily, and saying these thoughts don't mean anything, open the door to feel all of a sudden the beauty and the oneness beyond that figure. So my love, do this exercise 3 or 4 times a day. Just let it be. Look at the thoughts. It's liberating. It's liberating. I wish you a wonderful day, and have the faith there's someone who really loves us and guides us through all the lessons. And the truth is, we are only love, created by God. I love you.